We are live on this Saturday evening doggy ride. Here to talk about the future and Bob Joyce and AI and Elvis Presley and 2025 and 2027 and I guess all the future years ahead. So I just want to check in. I think it's been a few days since I did a live. I'm out here with Cassie, my dog, running beside the bike, and I'll try to get her on screen. If you can see her, there she is. If you can't, you will hear later. So, as usual, I've come to realize that I tend to have maybe less than popular things to report or update, and I've become fine with that because as I was seeing on my some of my past Facebook posts popped up, and I don't really use that app hardly at all anymore. I only use it for one particular business that I love, and that is Medexus. But other than that, I pretty much gave up on it for personal use a few years ago because it was just so bad. And you already know why, so I don't need to explain that. And it's not the only app that I quit using, and it was a very good change. Much less drama, much less stress. We shouldn't have stress from a mechanical item in our life. So if anything like that is giving you stress or drama, then my advice would be to get rid of it. So anywho, let's circle back to the unpopular update. Now, I've actually been saying this the last couple of years in what I would call my like-minded communities, which are already, weren't very popular 2020 and after, but since then have become much more popular because lots of things have been revealed to all of us, and but other people are just really starting to see all the things that are happening, being revealed with, you name it, basically everything under the sun. And hopefully somebody will let me know if you can't hear me okay. I assume that you can. So here's a little bit of light. Quick doggy stop. It's still dark. So what I've been saying the last few years, basically since November 2022, when Trump said some new words at the time, which, if I remember correctly, or if I paraphrase, he basically said, well, this is extremely paraphrasing, but it was November 2022, and he was basically making it obvious that that was a midway point and that we were going to have to wait until the whole 4 years played out. And basically talking in a kind of code to those who are listening that this was planned. This whole 4 years. I can't think of the words he's described it a few times. But so with that being said, since November 2022, I've been preparing everyone's minds, including my own, because I didn't want to have to wait until now for us to finally start seeing a turn and real change. But that's what I've been telling everyone is likely to happen. Yet, however, we've had all kinds of people pushing the hopium and building their channels by, because I just had to reconnect. But comments in a few minutes here. I'm with you. I see you, Irma, and Miss Constitutional Rights and others. So my unpopular opinion, now, after we've completed the 4 years, the 4-year period, is I'm still not, okay, I'm mostly convinced, but not totally convinced that we're going to have a scary event as dramatic as we wanted. I think it's most likely, but really what I want to say is no matter how things play out, we're going through a long process. Not everything is just going to magically be fixed and we're going to have this amazing world all of a sudden. Just because, a couple of good reasons. That's not human nature. And the enemy is still in this world. So if we factor everything in that's happening now against the Bible, Daniel, Revelation, and different sort of predictions about knowledge will increase is one of the key phrases, right? That being this modern age, the age of information that we're in. So it's going to keep unfolding. And for those who think the mark of the beast is like, could happen any day, I personally just don't see it yet because the infrastructure is not there yet. Is it going to get there? Yeah, it will. Electronic payment for everything being possible. Yeah, all the pieces of information needed to make that happen is really already made. But it has to be accepted, or it's got to be pushed in a way that can actually hold. And where people are right now and how the technology is still a little bit, it's just not all finalized yet. And obviously the main part is the governments don't have any one system. It's just not there. Okay, short story is it's not there. Could it be in 5 to 10 years? I would say definitely. But my theory is we're about to go through some major awakening moments for everyone in the same short period of time. But as far as bam, everything happening overnight, some magical switch is flipped and everybody has more money. We don't have hungry, poor people anymore. And I'm generalizing for obvious reasons, but like I said, there's like a million things that need to happen with humans as well before all the problems could magically be fixed. So you can see why this is an unpopular opinion, because it doesn't sound that positive. But that's where the paradox lies within, because I'm actually crazy excited about next year, and I do see lots of awesome changes on the horizon. But I guess you could say I prefer to follow kind of the Bible's slowly rolled out progression as being more realistic and making more sense compared to how shall I say it, this modernized Modernized, new agey world of everything's going to be great now. I do think a lot of things are going to improve, but no, I don't bother thinking and just assuming that's going to happen, because even if everybody had more money, for instance, and didn't have to worry about that issue anymore, well, what are a lot of people going to do with the money? They're just going to blow it and do stupid stuff with it, because it's the first time they ever had really had money. And if we're all about freedom and liberty, then we can't tell people what they can't buy. So you see where I'm getting with that whole tract. Oh, okay, sorry about that. One of my neighbors is going to start a car, and it's crazy loud, apparently. So he gave me a warning, which was nice of him. So if you hear something loud, then you'll know why, I guess. So let's see, what else we're going to talk about tonight. Oh, sorry, I didn't catch up on the comments a few minutes later, like I said I was going to. Hello, everyone. Reach the masses, Lakeland. Why do you try to prove this? Prove that Bob is Elvis? Really, I don't try to prove anything to anybody. And I mean, honestly, not in a mean way. I really could care less who believes the Bob Elvis theory and who doesn't. I just enjoy doing what I do. And lately, it's just been sharing his music from his albums. And that's going to keep going for a few days. But everyone's free to believe whatever they want to believe. And I don't worry about proving anything at all. And really, 2020 in the years after taught me that lesson. And I hope it taught you that lesson too, because it's really, if somebody thinks the opposite of you, then not only are you probably not going to change their mind anytime soon, but you're going to really give yourself all kinds of unnecessary stress if you try to worry about what they think, and especially what they think about you. So I've given friends the advice probably countless times that just like any app or any person, if they're giving you stress and it's just not a good thing time after time, you just need to get away from that, if at all possible. It's not always easy to do with a job or something, school, something like that. But if you have the option, possibly even if you had to go to another class, for instance, if we're talking about classes, then to me that would be worth it, because I've tried it both ways. So that was a long and strange answer to a question, but we're almost back now. Oh, the screen froze. That's what I thought. I'm going to have to start forward and go back. Exactly. Get away from negative things. Hi, Sheila. Hello. Oh, what money? Have you heard something? the thing about the money, it's hard to, well, no, it's not hard. From a realistic perspective, there's probably at least 10 different things that Trump is planning to change that would have major and fast effects on the economy. So that is one way a lot of people could have a lot more money, actually. But other than that, there are other things that are more conspiracy theory, which partially to do with digital currency, that I do believe are going to have some really good impact on just us being able to use it in a good way. Because, yeah, if we're using the term cryptocurrency, which is really what everybody called it for a long time, and then some people started calling it digital assets, which is what I use, or what I say. And yeah, crypto, a bad association with the crypt anyway. So I think that's why partly why I started saying digital assets. But anyhow, if those are essentially legalized to use, which we're already using digital money every day, even with regular bank accounts, they're just numbers on the screen. There's no dollar bill that's moving every time we deposit or withdraw. So it's all digital. But the world of digital coins and what everyone just called cryptocurrency initially, the freedom to be able to trade and use that much more cheaply, that is actually a very huge thing. I can send right now digital coins to a friend if they have a wallet, and I can literally do it for pennies or less than a penny, depending on the app we're using. And that's huge because if you think about businesses being able to move money around anywhere cheap, they usually spend a lot of money to do that. There's a lot of fees involved. So you'd be surprised at how big of an impact. That's just one example. You'd be surprised how big of an impact just us instantly having the freedom to do a lot more cheaper. It's like a domino effect, one thing after another. Um, but there's more theories that I won't go into. And yeah, I mean, is it safe? Is your bank card safe? No matter what, like I said, we're all living in this digital world. So thinking that your traditional bank card is any different from a crypto debit card, because that's what we're talking about. Um, you usually just get an app, whatever it is, like Robinhood or something is one of the popular ones. But any of the major crypto apps, or most of them, you can get a debit card, and it's just like a bank. It's really no different at all. It's just those digital companies are really operating in a much simpler and cheaper way than the traditional banks who will charge us for anything they can, extra fees, and they're really just ripping us off. And we already know that. So, yeah, there's a lot that could happen in 2025. Cash App, that's a good um Cash App is a perfect example. Cash App, there's no cash involved. It's all digital. Um but yeah, a lot of people still have a stigma of digital assets or cryptocurrency um, because of the things that they've heard, probably mostly on TV. But when you really learn a little bit more about it and think about it, you realize it's no different than what we've already been doing for how many years? I don't even know how many years we've been using debit cards from our banks, and it's just been numbers on a screen, right? As long as I can remember, but I couldn't give you a year. Um, yeah, Robinhood is not one of my favorites, but um, I don't think it's a scam any more than others. As far as if there's a scam at all, it's just they act like a regular bank and they charge you fees. But that's not really a scam. That's just how they're running their business. So Robinhood's been around for a long time. They were kind of one of the first, in a way, the first popular trading app, I guess. So they're not a scam, but since they're big, they charge fees and yeah, try to get every penny out of the customers they can. But there's so many other apps that you can use in different ways, and it's like I said, cheaper or almost free to send money to somebody. So anyhow, I hope that makes sense. I've spent a lot of time studying just that topic alone. Like I could do hours of videos just talking about my experiences and what I learned, but it's not really my favorite subject. But we're kind of just all of us who have invested in digital assets. Lots of us have been waiting since before 2020 because, well, I don't even know when it first started getting like really big, popular, but definitely before 2020. I don't know how many years before that. If it was as back as 11 or 12, or was it later than that? Anyway, I will wrap it up, and maybe it's getting late for some of you. It's 7:40 here, but I hope that all helped somehow. It was kind of a wide variety of subjects, I guess, but we talked about people, Trump in the next year, and we talked about negative people and Jeremiah. Have faith in the plan. End times is like headlines today. Know where you will spend eternity. I'll amen to that. Just one more reason not to worry about what other people think, because uh, just worry about yourself and God in this world. 2 Timothy 1:7. Oh, one of my favorite verses, Miss Constitutional writes, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." That's one thing I was going to mention was with all this stuff going on, that's why discernment, intuition is crazy important. And I don't know, maybe I should come up with a step-by-step plan to teach it. I don't know if I want to do that, but it could be done. But yeah, there's lots of words and things out there and things on TVs and blah, blah, blah. But being able to actually tell what's real and what's not, I suppose that has kept me busy. All right. Well, you guys have a good night, a good weekend. Got lots more Bob Joyce, Elvis Presley music coming soon. And the 24/7 live stream is playing along with one for instrumentals and one for Grace Wave Radio. All three of those 24/7 live streams are on the place that starts with rum and ends with bull. 3 live streams: Grace Wave Radio, the Matt Savina piano instrumentals on Matt Savina, and then the Bob Joyce music channel. And yeah, they're rolling right now. So why don't you check it out? Enjoy some as I wrap it up here. So have a good night. I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Cassie's good. I'm glad you love the new music, Irma. Okay, bye.